Hello. How are you? Good evening. Well, it's actually morning here where I am right now. But for those of you who don't know who I am, allow me to introduce myself. I am the great Jazz Fitness, the YouTube sensation Jazz Fitness, the one and only. And I'm here today with a very special message. You know, I've been hearing a lot of things about bullying and people committing suicide and kids having a really hard time in school and all kinds of other things. Well, for once, just one time, I'm going to talk to you as myself. I'm so sick and tired of all this bullying nonsense. Yeah, I know most of you know I'm a pretty tough guy. And I know most of you know that I'm known for giving people a hard time and calling people out on YouTube and all kinds of other things. But here tonight, that's all behind us. I'm not talking to you as Jazz Fitness. I am the 6 foot, 240 pound man, myth, and legend Jazz Vengeance. And you know what? I'm tired of the bullying nonsense. I'm tired of people picking on people and giving people a hard time and kicking people when they're down. Let me tell you something. Jazz Fitness is a character. Jazz Vengeance is a character. Completely different individuals. The one thing they both have in common is they're both me. And whether I'm Jazz Fitness or Jazz Vengeance, one thing is for sure. The Jazz Vengeance or Jazz Fitness doesn't care about bullies. I am so sick and tired of hearing kids getting picked on and made to feel horrible at school or at work or anywhere else, or anybody in that matter. Never mind just kids. Adults get bullied. Kids get bullied, seniors get bullied, parents get bullied, everyone gets bullied. It's not right, it's not cool, and it's not hip. And trust me, I know what's hip. You know, you may not understand this or may not know this, but when I was little Jazz, I was picked on quite a bit. And you know what? It made me sick to my stomach going to school every day, knowing that I was going to be picked on and someone was going to make fun of me, and knowing that, you know, everyone was going to think I was crazy or I was strange. You know what? It got to the point where I decided to embrace that. And I did. I embraced that. I acted like an absolute lunatic at school. And why? Because they put me in that predicament. Not just the kids at school, the people at home, the people in my neighborhood, the people everywhere. Let me tell you, I got 2 bunks that I like to call out right now. But I can't remember one's name because he doesn't matter to me. There was another one. Sean Hall was his name. Let me tell you something, Sean Hall. I don't even know if you're alive anymore. I don't know if you're living or dead. I don't know if you're in jail. I don't know if you've gone on to do bigger and better things with your life. But let me tell you something. You made me feel like garbage growing up. You picked on me because I was smaller and weaker and I didn't fight back. I wish you were around when I begot my growth spurt. I wish you were around when I started fighting back. I wish you were around when I was beating people up and taking names for people not because of me. I wish you were around when I was protecting the kids in high school, when Jazz Vengeance was going through high school protecting those kids that people like you made feel like garbage. Let me tell you something, jackass. You want to pick on me? Fine. You wanted to pick on me growing up? I was a small, weak little kid. Look at me now. I am 6 feet tall. I am now not on the 240, part of my expressions earlier. I am now down to 230. And furthermore, well, actually 225, but that's beside the point. If you haven't noticed, it's a new shirt and it's fitting me just well. But you know what? The point of the matter is, I'm not some scrawny little weakling that's not going to do nothing about it. The problem is, there are Sean Halls all over the country and all over the world. There is always punks like you and like the punks all over the place who like to pick on the small and the helpless. I made a living, I made a career, I made a legend of myself by protecting kids from people like you and the bullies around the world. Let me tell you something. There's going to come a time when those kids you bully or those people you bully are going to stand up to you. And so those people who you're bullying, I encourage you, you stand up to them. I'm not saying knock them on their rear end. I'm not saying punch them in the mouth. I'm saying you simply stand up and say, I'm not taking it anymore. And to you teachers out there and you parents who don't quite understand this concept, not all of you, some of you, if you send your kids to school when they come home and they tell you that the kids at school are picking on them and they're calling them names, let me tell you something. That old expression, sticks and stones will break your bones, but names will never hurt you. Let me tell you something. They hurt worse than any physical pain you can imagine. I am still feeling the scars of my childhood by living those words and those names I was called. The difference is, those people who picked on me are doing nothing with their lives. Chances are they're either in a jail cell, doing drugs, drinking heavily. Who knows? For all I know, they could be sitting on their couch or in front of the computer right now doing nothing but surfing the web on their parents' internet because they're doing nothing with their lives. Where people like me and those other kids out there who are brave enough to stand up to the bullies, and those kids out there who are brave enough to go to school, to go to work, to go anywhere for that matter, and having to deal with people like you, let me tell you something. It's not easy to go to work every day or school every day knowing that there's going to be some jackass where you are who is going to make you feel like garbage. It's not easy. And it takes absolute courage to walk into work or school or wherever it is knowing what to expect. But the real courage comes from what you do with it. Don't take it. Stand up to them. Don't take that garbage. Anyone is worth something. Except for the bullies. Because the bullies obviously know that they have nothing going on with their lives. Let me tell you something about Sean Hall, my old nemesis. There wasn't one of you, there was two of you beating on me at one time. And I was about 72 pounds and about 3 feet tall. You're a real tough guy, huh? I wish you were around right now. But you're nowhere to be found. And that's okay. Because let me tell you about my life right now. Not only do I have a great place to live, not only do I have a great job where I'm respected and beloved, not only do I have people in my life who are positive influences, who love me and care about me for who I am, not only am I able to make videos like this because I became Jazz Vengeance, or the YouTube sensation, and I fulfilled the dream of making myself a professional wrestler. Not only that, I'm making a movie. I go to conventions and hubnut with celebrities. My life is great. What the heck are you guys doing with your lives? You bullies out there. You sit in your house and think about what you can do to make someone else's life miserable the next day. Let me tell you something what I dream about. The day that young kid who you're picking on stands up to you, makes you look like the fool that you are. I'm sick of it. I am sick of kids having to go to, you know, yeah, I'm a little off kilter because this situation and this subject is something that's very near and dear to Sean's heart. Jazz Vengeance, Jazz Fitness, all the same person. In the end, you bullies are going to accomplish nothing in your lives. Because you prey on the weak and you get a thrill out of it. What kind of a thrill can you get from making some poor little kid cry every day? And, you know, then God forbid that poor kid feels so much pain and anguish and feels so alone and feels so much distraught that he can't do anything but take their lives. You're not only a bully, you're a murderer. You're an accessory to murder. That poor kid should never have been put in that situation. It's because of people like you, bullies out there, that those kids do those things. Yeah, you think you're tough and high-minded, you think you're funny laughing in front of your big jackass friends, making jokes for the kids, making the kids feel like garbage, getting their lunch money, beating them up, giving you some type of thrill about how tough you are. You're nothing. I wish there was more people like me growing up. When I was in high school anyway, when I was protecting those kids that you people target. My only regret in life is that there's not more of me people out there. There's not more Jazz Vengeances out there. They're going to patrol up and down the hallways to make sure all the kids are safe and they feel comfortable going to school every day. It breaks my heart when I see on TV and some poor kid feels alone. Let me tell you something. You kids feel alone, you message me in the box downstairs, in the box. I will talk to you about bullying. Someone's giving you a hard time, you want someone to hear, you want to lend an ear to, you talk to me. I've been there, I've done that. And I will do everything in my power to come up with a solution, a positive solution for your situation. Because that is who I am. There's two kinds of people in the world. Those who sit around and see something wrong and do nothing about it and walk the other way and turn a blind eye. And then there are people like me who see something wrong, know it's wrong, and do something about it. I'm sorry, but that's always going to be who I am. I'm going to be that guy who's going to get involved. I'm going to be that guy who's going to stand up to the bullies, to stand up to the punks. And I urge you kids out there who are getting bullied right now, or you adults who are getting bullied right now, you're not alone. And please, please, if you feel the need that you think you're alone, you come find me. I'm not hard to find. The description is going to be down the bottom of this page. You can private message me all you want. You can comment on my page. And you know what, you bullies out there, you're going to hate on me? Go ahead, please do. You come bully, you come pick on me. Because I guarantee you, if you're commenting and showing hate messages on this video, then my friends, you're exactly who I'm targeting. And that I'm striking a chord. I know this is a different video than for me. I know it is. I don't care. It's about time someone stands up. It's about time I say something on this matter. Me, the loud, outspoken one, Jazz Fitness. Or the vengeful one, the protector, Jazz Vengeance. Like I said, Jazz Fitness, Jazz Vengeance, we don't like bullies. I might make jokes on here, and I might poke and call people out, and that's not fun. What it's not fun is those piss ants out there who get a thrill out of making some poor sap's life miserable. You people are making them miserable because you yourselves are miserable. And that is the honest to God truth. You feel like garbage yourself, so you treat others like garbage. You having a hard time at home? I really don't care what your excuse is. A punk is a punk. A bully is a bully. There's no excuses for it. Now let me tell you something. If you're friends with a bully, a person who's picking on somebody else, and you're sitting around laughing, or you're sitting around watching them and saying, gee, maybe that guy's going too far, maybe he should lay up, you're just as much as a punk than he is, or she is. Because it's not just guys, it's girls, it's men, it's women, it's kids, it's adults, it's senior citizens. You know, I don't really care what the excuse is. I don't care if it's because they're smaller, they're weaker, because of their sexual preferences, because of what music they like, because of what TV shows they like, because of what they read, because of the way they clothes they wear. Let me tell you something. I was poor growing up. I wore what could fit, and I wore what looked good to me. It was comfortable and it was cheap. And you know what? I still will shop at Walmart. Because it's comfortable and it's cheap. And if anybody has a problem with that, I really don't care. Because I'm very comfortable with who I am. Jazz Fitness, Jazz Vengeance, we don't care who the heck you think you are and how I look to everybody else, as long as I look good to me. Do you understand what I'm saying to you? And you kids out there who are getting bullied and all that stuff, I really hope you understand what I'm talking about. And I know you do. You're not alone. You're not. There are kids getting bullied every single day all over the world. Right now, there's someone getting picked on. The thing is what do we do about that? We stand up, we get in their face, and we say no more. If you see someone who is smaller or weaker getting picked on, then stand up and say, hey, knock it off. It's a very simple solution. There should be no question. No kid should be left alone, because they're not. I'm sick of it. I'm sure some of you guys are too. To you parents out there again, warning signs that your kids aren't doing well at school and getting picked on is when they have beat up, when they're getting beat up. They're coming home with bruises and bumps that you can't describe. Or when they're coming home with less money or without some personal item, because the bullies like to take those things from them. Why? I don't think it has anything to do with the fact that the bully can't buy it themselves. It has to do with the fact that they think they can. And that is the problem. The bullies do what they do because they think they can. What I urge you to do is to stand up to them and say, no, you can't. You don't own me. You don't own my stuff. I am my own person. I have friends who are gay. I have family that's gay. I have family that's straight. I have family that's whatever. I have friends who are gay. I have friends who are straight. I have friends who are bi. I have friends who are poor. I have friends who are rich. One thing remains the same is they're all my friends. And if anyone gives any of them a hard time because of any of those things, they're going to hear it from me. Because of the music they listen to, because they can dance, because they can sing, because of whatever the reason is. If you mess with my friends, you will mess with me. And that is the honest to God truth, ladies and gentlemen. We need to be a group, a family, if you would. The F4L, so to speak. Friends, fans, family, for life. Love, caring, compassion, understanding, respect, and justice. Those are the things the morals that I have in myself. That's what makes me who I am. If more people out there were like me, we'd be a better world. And there are. The F4L has gone global across this country. Across the world, people practice the F4L model, and I'm proud of that. I'm proud of being F4L. I'm proud of being the person that I am. Look at this. This is the F4L emblem. It says who I am. I'm proud to hear it. My first tattoo, the first thing I put on my body is who I am. I'm proud of it. Some bully wants to give me a hard time for wearing this because I'm wearing pink and purple. Oh, please bring it on. Bring on the fact that you want to pick on me because I'm wearing pink and purple. Real men wear pink. Purple is a color of power. So, whatever. Whatever. Now, I know this video is going on a little long, and I apologize. I hope you guys have taken something out of this video. I know it's different, like I said, but someone has to stand up to these people. Someone has to say it. You bullies out there, to all you Sean Halls out there in the world, we're stronger than you think we are. And those kids, those small, scrawny little kids you pick on now, aren't always going to be those small, scrawny little kids. And we're coming.